In a public appearance before the cameras. That's where we're at, though. Nobody's paying attention to what Justin Trudeau has to say. Nobody's calling him for advice as the world goes to hell in a handbasket.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Both of you, all three of you. And so we have Ashley Takur here. We have Hassan from Saudi Arabia. Welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan. Did I say it right? And so we have RQKZ says, how is it going, Mr. Mehran? I have a question. So, okay, we'll come back to you. We have Hassan's question first. And, HM is right. It says, guys, please state name, age, gender, and region before asking. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Hassan. So, reminding everyone that be kind enough to let me know a little bit about you, including age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. Your first name would be great if I could address you at your first name. Otherwise, I got to say like HM, or, when I can say Hassan or Ashley Thakur. That's good. Ashley is a name, I guess. RQKZ, I won't be able to say that every time I want to address you because that's kind of takes it out of the rhythm. Otherwise, it would be nice if I could know that little bit about you guys. So, the first question we have here is a bit warm. So that's the first question. So we take this off. So we have HM says, hi, hello, Mehran. Hassan, 22, Saudi Arabia. Thank you for that. Hassan says, there is a girl I really like in university. She's not in my classes, but we see each other on campus. I never talk to her, but we always give eye contacts. I cannot approach her because she's always surrounded by her friends. And says, what should I do? Well, there are many different ways. There indirect way. You can just go right where her friends are. Says, excuse me, I have a message for you, but it's a bit private. Could you step over here? I'll give it to you. Something. I mean, she comes in there and say the message. You can write it on a piece of paper already beforehand, or you can say, well, I just wanted to tell you that there is a guy that says you're always surrounded by beautiful girls, but I think you're the most beautiful of them all. And they say, I wish you have a nice day. I hope to see you again. And leave. Don't stick around. She'll have a smile and she'll remember you. Next time you pass by, you say hi with a smile and pass by. Don't stay. And she says hi. Eventually, third time, you say hi. He says, by the way, that day I forgot to say my name. My name is Hassan. And what is your name? And then you say some shit that you want to say. Otherwise, she's not God. She's a girl that you like. That's all. So she doesn't, if she's rude, which I don't think so, then they would just say something like, what do you expect them to say? Doesn't matter. We are men. We're designed to be rejected or by the woman we like. But that's not going to happen. And, or the direct approach is that you just go right there where they are, says, if I wanted to wait until you're alone and your friends are not around you, it would never happen because you seem to be so popular. So I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Hassan. I wish you a good day. I hope to see you again. And go on. That's it. It shows you've got balls and girls like it and you're not shy. Maybe you are, but you don't show it that way. And that's the end of it. So big fucking deal. She says she doesn't, reciprocate or whatever. You didn't ask anything. You didn't ask for a date. You didn't say like, "Hey, let's go out." You just introduce yourself. So that means you're in line. In case she's in a relationship, fair enough. You didn't ask her anything. In case she is in a relationship, but she breaks up someday, she knows that you're in line. So you already have established some kind of rapport. So that's simple enough. Hassan says, should I start with a smile and see her reaction? Well, if you want to wait for all these little hints and so on, you may, you know. But all good. There's no one better than the other one. As long as you go forward, just say something, you know. And we have Spartan Joker says Hassan Rees. Okay, Hassan Rees. Also, let me know age and which country you are watching the videos or the program. And then we go to Ashley now. She says, my ex and I are working in the same office. Okay, Ashley, I need age and I need where you're tuning in from. It tells me a little bit about your, where you are in life and a little bit about your culture when I know where you are residing, like where your city or country is. And then I will, attend to your question for sure. And RQKZ, the same. Please include your age and possibly first name and gender, because I can't tell from RQKZ what gender is, and also where you're tuning in from. And Spartan is 22, Ohio, USA. Thank you for that. And so Hassan Rees from Ohio, 25, USA. Thank you. Ashley Thakur is, I'm from India, age 28. Thank you, Ashley. So we go to Ashley. Hopefully by then, RQKZ has also given us some information about himself or herself. So Ashley, 28 years old from India, says, my ex and I are working in the same office. After dumping me, that's the first mistake you made. Never want to hear you, any of you guys, say that again when you break up. Nobody dumps you. It's a relationship that didn't work out. You were not compatible. That doesn't make her better than you or make you better than her or either way. But saying dump, that means you're already putting yourself in a lower position than she is, that she is the boss and in control, and she makes the choosing. She didn't choose you, she dumped you. What the hell does that mean? You're garbage? Stop using these negative words about yourself. Respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, nobody else will. It's a customary from where I come from, culturally, that we use the word nokar. Nokar in my language means servant, butler. But in real sense, when it's used in a conversation, it is representation of I'm lower than you. I'll do anything you say. I'm your friend. I'm loyal to you. So they use the word nokar, means I'm like your servant. I'll be at your side and I'll do whatever you want me to do, showing loyalty, friendship, and so on. However, it does have the meaning of being a butler or being a servant to someone, which means by uttering that about yourself, you're declaring a non-meant meaning of the word that I am lower than you. I'm your servant. I'm beneath you. Now, while it's in the spirit of friendship, loyalty, and camaraderie, but it has that other, indirect effect on your own conscious, on your own self, because you're announcing that, and the meaning, words have meaning, that meaning comes back to you and affects your personality, your character, that you actually believe about yourself being a servant of someone else, beneath somewhere else. You put yourself at an inferior position by choice, which affects your character over time if you keep using it, even though you don't mean any of that derogatory part of the meaning. You just mean it as I'm your friend, I'm a good friend, I'll do my best for you and this and that. And I was talking on the phone with a friend, and I usually don't use that word when I was much younger, but I did use that word then. And my father was close by and heard me on the phone talking on the phone. with somebody I was talking. When I hung up, my father said, never say that word again. You're nobody's servant or butler. And if you keep saying that, that affects your character and your way of thinking and image about yourself in your own mind. And that takes you down and would bring about the feeling of inferiority, because you unconsciously are dubbing yourself with certain derogatory word that has a meaning, even though you don't mean that meaning, but the meaning itself is known to your brain, is known, and it will diminish your value in your own mind. You will lose respect, which would your behavior would demand less of a normal, natural, balanced respect from the others. I never said that word again. And he was absolutely right. Even though I have a nose turned up, I never meant that word to be of any derogatory for me toward anybody else, but it was just something everybody was using it. And I just so happened to use it for that friend on the phone. And my father was sharp enough to correct me. God bless his soul. So, I don't want you ever say anything derogatory about yourself. You know, if you've been a person in the wrong, that's fine. But not calling yourself names such as dump me or I'm garbage or I'm this and that, so forth. No. Unless you really have been a bad person. And even so, you got to correct it rather than calling yourself shit. So, having said that, to get back to Ashley's question, he says, my ex and I are working in the same office. After dumping me, she started dating other guys. Other guy in same office. Seeing them every day lead to panic and anxiety attacks. Please help me. What should I do? You just take a look at your dick and say, there are other ones, and I don't give a shit. That's all. There's no magic to it. You think she's the only pussy around. You think she's the only person that would have ever gone out with you. And the fact that she's so inconsiderate that right after breaking up with you, in your face, in the office, she hangs out and starts going out with another guy, she never had the class that would deserve you. She's a low class, inconsiderate, desperate, without any good judgment. That wasn't the kind of girl you wanted to be with anyhow. So might as well, even though the fact that she's going out with somebody else who presents you that she's sleeping with him, and that pisses you off because you wanted to sleep with her. If you haven't, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Either way, you kind of felt that she's yours. Or what she was giving to you, which was sex and intimacy and so on, she's now giving it to somebody else, and that pisses you off. Well, that's normal. Every one of us gets pissed off, and every one of us is going to be difficult for us to handle or to endure. That's the way we are. We're men. We're with a woman. We don't like to see that woman right in front of our eyes, at least, going out with some other bloke. So that's a normal thing, and it's a fact of life. You got to live with it, because at the same time, she has the right to do whatever the fuck she wants to do. And so do you. You have the right to do whatever you want to do. You can go out with anyone you want. She's not the only girl around. She's not the only woman around. Definitely, she's not the woman you want to hang around anyhow. She's not classy enough for you. That's the truth. That's how you should look at it. So she goes out with this one and that one. Anxiety, so what? Let the anxiety come and go. Nothing happens. You see, the thing is, when the anxiety happens, you become fearful that what's going to happen to you. Or because there is an anxiety and emotional shock or something, you feel that means she is really superior to every other woman that is out there. No, it just is the way we men are. When we are with a woman and the woman leaves or we break up, and even though if we instigate the breakup, if we see her with another man, we get anxiety. Why? Because we believe that's mine, yet it's not mine. And that pisses us off. Understanding that that is how we are made makes you understand that there's nothing for you to be needed to do. That's anxiety. Let the anxiety do its thing. It comes and doesn't do anything to you, it just makes you pissed off. That's all. So you say, great, I'm excited now. But meaning what? I'm motivated to go and find myself a better woman. And this time I make sure I get a classy woman, not like this one that is slutty enough that right after breakup, she's going out with somebody else, which means she's been going out with that piece of shit way before she broke up with you. Way before, as you said, dumped you. This is why she dumped you, maybe because you allow someone's behavior to interpret itself, translate itself in your mind about you having been dumped, rather than saying she didn't really measure up and her taste couldn't understand a quality man. So she's gone to something that is suitable for her to her standards. That's all. You won't think that she's higher and she dumped you. You just say it didn't work out. You know, what are you going to say? If there's a diamond and a cubic zirconian and crystal and glass, a jewelry made out of these elements that I talked to you about, and someone goes into the store and they put the diamond ring, the cubic zirconian ring, crystal ring, and the glass ring. If the person chooses the crystal ring or the zirconian or the glass one, suddenly diamond is depreciated. Its value drops because the choice of this person who couldn't tell the difference because they were all the same price. They were being offered to the person same price as a social experience. And just because the guy couldn't or the girl couldn't appreciate the higher class and quality of stone being the diamond and chose the other one, that means what? The diamond devaluates and it's no longer as valuable as it was before this choice was made? No, it just means the person who made it could not appreciate, understand, or tell the difference between a high value stone and pretty much garbage. Same thing with you. When a woman leaves you, breaks up with you, you say she didn't have the capacity or understanding to appreciate a high value man, and she had to go to whatever that suits her and she can understand in her expectations and standards. Move on. Next woman. She can come and get naked in front of you and make love to that person that's right in the office. You shouldn't give a shit. That's the kind of man you got to be. Otherwise, you just play with your head every time somebody says, oh, I like you. Then say, no, I like the other ones. And it goes with that one. Then you what? You're going to what? What are you going to do? Hit your head, hand in your head? So, grow up. That means nothing. Next. That's what you think. That's what you do. It's not like you missing something when you see, I know what you feel. Oh, I'm missing. So, oh, she's available and she's fucking with somebody else and I wanted to have that. So she's really good. What? No, it's your desire that makes her important. She's not important on herself. She's a woman and so many other women around. You're a man, so many other men around. But the desire that the woman would have for you make you think that you're somebody, but you were somebody before she desired you. And the desire that you have with the girl is making her important. But her on her own, what has she accomplished in this world that makes you think she's all that? Nothing. You're programmed for procreation. You're programmed to love women, and you're sexually aroused by this girl, or somehow you like this girl to be your girlfriend, and that means you desire her. Your desire is the source of her importance. She is not important on her own. She hasn't fed the children. She hasn't made the elderly safe or take care of them. She hasn't invented the cure for the common cold. She hasn't done fuck all. So the purpose or the roots of her importance is you liking her. So you're the source of her importance, which means really you set the value for them, not by herself. If you understand that, then you say, well, listen, if you're not with me, I don't care. My father said one more thing as well. A long time ago, when I guess it was about a girl or something, and I was kind of a little bit in thoughts, and I don't know what the story was, or was it, and my father said, if this wheel doesn't turn for me, I don't care if it turns at all. That means if whatever it is that you like is not offered to you, I don't care how wonderful that thing is. If that food that is placed on that table is not inviting you on that table, it doesn't matter how delicious it might be. I don't care. And in life, if this wheel doesn't turn for you, I don't care if it turns at all. And that's how you should think. I don't care how beautiful she is, how desirable she is in your mind. If she's not offering her emotions and attention and so on to you, it doesn't matter how beautiful or wonderful she may or may not be. Next. That's all I have to say about that, Ashley. And we have Ashley Thakur that graciously donated 400 rupees to the channel. Thank you for the super chat. And Ashley says, after breakup, my self-worth is at all-time low. I compare myself with her current boyfriend. I watch them in close proximity, and it triggers panic attack in me. I'm thinking of leaving my job. Does that make me a coward? No, it makes you a human being who actually has her dick making the decisions for himself, not his brain. Because his brain tells him that he's valuable and should tell him what I just said about the jewelries in the jewelry store, that this person didn't have the understanding, expectation, the standards, and the class to appreciate a value person like me, what I could offer, what I was, who I was, and so on. And that's the end of it. But because she's now being desired by somebody else, which every woman in the world is desired by thousands of people, that doesn't mean she's amazing. It just means everybody's dick is hard on for her. And that's what we are. We're all like that. We see a pretty girl, okay, we want her. And we don't ask any question. And the attention that the other men are paying to her is because that's what they're programmed to pay attention to women. But that attention is not an evidence that the woman is the one that you should be pursuing or is the best one around. It's just a normal thing. Every woman gets lots of attention. So that doesn't make that man that she has chosen to be with better than you. It just means that's her level of understanding and expectations of a guy. And she was not classy enough or equipped enough to appreciate a man like you. I don't know what the hell the guy does. Maybe the guy just is a pushover, or maybe she's likes the attention and say, play this game of, whatever she says. It goes, I don't know what the fuck is going on with people's head. But you shouldn't give a shit. If a woman leaves you, that's her prerogative. You respect that. But at the same time, respect yourself, and you don't give a shit if they've left you or not, as long as you've treated them nice with a gentlemanly manner as best as you could, and you have not abused them. That's it. The rest is not diminishing you, or if they stay doesn't elevate you. You elevate yourself by your accomplishments and what you learn, what you offer, and contribute to the society and the community you live in. Not by somebody choosing you or not choosing you or choosing somebody else. You devalue if choosing you evaluate. If that's the case, then why would you go to school? Just why anybody would go to school to learn trades and sciences and go get a better job. They just want to see if they're evaluated. They go see if this girl likes them. If she likes them, then they evaluate it. So they don't need anything else. And suddenly their level in society is created at the high level. If she doesn't, then they evaluate. So what is that? Who died and left her in charge of the measuring stick for people's value? That you think her not being with you and choosing somebody else has devaluated it, so your self-esteem has gone down. Your self-esteem has not gone down. Your dick is being disappointed. That's all. Grow up. Otherwise, I get the ugly stick and come and beat you on the head. Remember, Ashley, in such cases, I'm a very violent, opinionated man. All right. So, RQ, whatever, finally didn't say, oh my goodness, let me say hello to a special friend. Kalani is here. Says, my friend, how are you? Hope all is well. Well, where the hell have you been? Mahalo. Aloha. Where have you been? It's been a long time. We missed you. I'm sure I thought of you many times, and I was hoping and wishing and praying that you're fine, your family, and all the things are going good for you. So let me know a little bit about you. What have you been doing? Where have you been hiding? How are things in your life? Glad you're here. I'll get back to you and I'll go and address somebody else's question here. We have Stephen here, says, hi, Mehran, male, 42, Los Angeles. Thank you for that. And Stephen says, walking my dogs and listening in. Okay, perfect. And we have Spartan 25, Ohio. We answered that one. So we are back to RQKZ. RQKZ have not responded to our request of how old she is or he is and where she's tuning in or he's tuning in. I don't even know if he's a man or a woman because RQKZ doesn't tell me anything. Obviously, he's been here, so he knows the protocol because he says, how is it going, Mr. Mehran? I have a question. I'm getting better with HOCD, but the problem is that I've been dealing with harm OCD and it's so annoying. How do I stop it? You don't have to stop anything. You will not harm anyone. You will not harm yourself. This is one of the subsets of OCD. And I remember one of the discussions that one of the experts of OCD, Dr. Phillipson, was having on his program. He was being interviewed, and he actually talked about somebody who had told him that I'm afraid to hurt a child if I'm supposed to, let's say, babysit the child because I have harm OCD. And if I remember the conversation correctly, I may be wrong, but I think I remember he told him that I leave my children with you, and I'm 100% sure that you will take good care of them and you will never harm such because these are brain thoughts. These are not your thoughts or intention. It's not your awareness that is actually suggesting harm. It's the brain suggesting as an OCD harm, a intrusive thought sort of thing, and you will never harm anyone. And he said that I will leave my children with you for a week, and I'm certain that they will be perfectly fine, and you'll take perfect care about it because it's your brain talking about it. It's not you, your character, your values, and so on. And that is how it is. It's just a thought that make you think it's about you. When you separate the brain from you, you're not the brain. Brain is not you. And you know that the thoughts come from the brain, and since brain is not you, so the thoughts that the brain secretes is not you and doesn't represent you either. So when it kind of makes shit like intrusive thoughts of all kinds, whether it's HOCD or harm OCD or anything OCD, it's the brain. It's like somebody else in the street says that, but happens to be connected to whatever the brain utters, you become aware of it. But just becoming aware of what the brain suggested or thought or intended in a way of words, that doesn't mean that you are in agreement with that suggestion or intention in words that you are going to act on it. Because you're the awareness, brain is an organ that its job is to make thoughts. Brain is not you, you're not the brain. So the thoughts that the brain makes is not you. Therefore, the suggestions and whatever intrusive it does or it suggests is not going to be acted upon by you. You are the persona, you are the awareness. As long as you can realize that, then harm OCD is just one of those intrusive thoughts at OCD. It's not going to cause you actually act on it. All right. So, like any other intrusive thoughts, it can come and go. And you pay no attention to it. And just, you can do the same thing as 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz and apply that to relabel, reframe, refocus, and revalue. So I feel like harming right now. Then you say, is it just a feeling or do I really want to harm someone? And you say, fuck, I don't want to harm anyone. So then when you realize it's a thought, a suggestion, intrusive thoughts of a kind, and then you refocus. Once you recognize This is an intrusive thought, not your awareness intention in reality. Once you recognize the quality of this thought, then you refocus. So you relabel. I feel like harming. When you feel like harm OCD, I feel like harming whatever it is, something or someone or myself or whatever. They said, do I feel like harming or do I actually want to harm something? Then it becomes apparent to you that the fuck, I don't want to do anything. Actually, just the thought of it, thought of killing, thought of harming, thought of cutting, thought of something. But in imagination, because the virtuality has no consequences, it's easy to think of it. But when the actuality has lots of consequences, we're aware of it, we never attempt to it. We never. So once you realize that, then you refocus to something positive, such as listening to music or having a cup of tea or coffee, whatever it is that you like, and you move away from that energy to a positive energy that you wish to focus on. And then you reevaluate and you go on about your life. And if you keep doing this, the fourth step, which is reevaluate, will happen in the brain automatically. And after a while, every time the harm OCD thoughts show up, you will do the 4 steps immediately, automatically in the brain without having to count and go through it. And you just get out of it. It just comes in and get out of it. Comes in, just like a wave. And you become really good at it. That as it shows up, you do the relabeling, reframing, refocusing, and revalue. And boom, in a second. And no longer it actually lingers to occupy your mind, what to do with it, or take attention more than a second. As soon as it shows up, your system has automatically is now dealing with it. Because you rewired it by these 4 steps for so long that is now through neuroplasticity, it's doing it automatically as soon as it shows up. All right. And Anchor Bora says, now I'm no more worried about intrusive thoughts. I know they will be there, but why this false attraction, sir? The same thing. It's a thought. And I told you, if you look at the videos that I have put for false attraction, then you will have a better understanding of it. And then, because I can't explain all the videos that I've made right here, but if you just type into the search engine of my channel, not YouTube, my channel, just put in false attraction or just put attraction or false, either one of the words or both of them together, you will get a few videos on that note and see if they're helpful to you. And Kalani says, mahalo, I'm doing fine, been single ever since then, but really enjoying it ever since my last breakup. I'm a different person now, being single and really finding myself. And what is important now, my mind is different, and the type of girl I would want to spend the rest of my life with. Good to okay, good, yeah, that would happen as you grow older, and you will have a different outlook in life and different expectations, different standards, and these experiences of breakups and so on will always help you to refine and fine-tune your expectations and the qualities you're looking for. And then eventually you get to an age that you know exactly what you should look for, what you should consider it the flag, and pass on it and so on. And that seems to be that's where you are. Now, let me know, Kalani, how old are you now? Because I forgot, actually. It says, good to see you still doing this to help others. You've really helped me when I was low in my life. Well, I'm delighted to hear that. I'm happy that you have enjoyed the channel and the things and discussions we've had. I am proud of you to see that you have made something wonderful out of yourself, being happy and trying to learn and better yourself, make a better version of yourself. And you're closer and closer to knowing exactly what kind of girl you want. And hopefully you will have some kind of a success in at least having a girl that has more than half of the stuff that you expect in her character. And again, wonderful to see you. And I hope to see you having time to attend some of these live streams again. You have a good energy, and I'm glad that you found this channel. And Kalani says, I'm 30 now. I was 27 talking to you. Yeah, that's right. Okay, great. Thank you. Wonderful. It was a pleasant surprise. So looks like we're all caught up. 54 minutes and 40 seconds. At 60 minutes, I'm going to cut it off so I can watch some, maybe some series or some movies, Star Trek maybe, or maybe I make some new videos. And for my TikTok channel, I'm using TikTok now. I have 3 channels on TikTok. 2 of them are political, mostly for Canadian politics and what's going on in this country at this time. And the other one is the stuff that we're talking about here, relationships, breakups, OCDs and OCD subsets and HOCD and so on and so forth. So I use I choose videos from YouTube channel and the short ones preferably to put it on YouTube, on TikTok, and hoping that TikTok will introduce the channel further, and then we'll be able to increase the subscription on YouTube. So eventually we'll have enough subscription that the YouTube will, award the channel with enough economic support that we can then expand and do other things that we want to do with it. So it looks like we have no more question, and we have 5 minutes to chit chat. Anybody has anything to throw in, you can. I'll be here for another few minutes, and then we'll go about our business. Well, tonight wasn't bad. It was a surprise kind of a thing. It was later at night, but we still had whopping 6 people. You know, Kalani, you remember we had at least like sometimes 22, 25, 30, or 32 people at that time. But somehow we've shrunk. And I don't know why. Maybe I'm being shadow banned by YouTube, since this channel really doesn't hold back and really help people in the way that they would understand and useful, rather than just have a bias against this or that and then only talk about one sort of things, to have a narrative rather than what the psyche really is all about, and hoping that everybody gets to know their psyche a little bit better. So let me have a sip of this. My favorite tea. In fact, right now, today, like a few hours ago, when I was in a shop to buy some, I don't know, what was it, some Kleenex and some distilled water for tea and so on, I saw on the goodie shelf, I saw macadamia nuts. And I said, I bet you, from just the idea of looking at something that is coming from Hawaii, it gives me a boost. Hawaii, my place, where I love, my adopted homeland. So I looked at it. Sure enough, it was coming from Hawaii, but it was somewhere I had not heard, and he wasn't telling me which island. It was just something creek. Obviously, it must have been an area that wasn't really that well known, at least to visitors like me. And Kalani says, what's your thoughts on being single for a while? I enjoy it, but I'm scared to stay stuck this way. You know, sometimes you have to stay single because you just get tired of looking for quality and can't find it. It's not that they're not there. There's so many amazing women out there. But it so happens that in the pathway that we're walking at that time and space span, we can't see them, we can't meet them. And they either are kind of mixed with the stream of the today's kind of women. They all look for something, want something, whoever pays more attention, whoever spends more money on them. They have no real values, and it's all for their own sake, just to see what they can get. And then you naturally don't want that kind of woman, and therefore you pass by. And there's so many of them that have crowded, and the good ones are just not even visible. And to find them, you can't find them pretty much everywhere that the other kind of girls are available, the ones who are just, in a la-la land. So you want to find some old-fashioned values? Well, it might take time. So when you hit that kind of a mark, it's okay to stay single for a while. And you're just 30-year-old. You're very young. You don't need to worry about that. You just build your life, make money as much as you can. The more money you have, the more chances you have to have free time and places to go and visit different venues, and you will find someone to your liking that you guys, your energies will be coordinated and compatible. But at the moment that you don't want to have a girlfriend and you want to be single, just focus on making money. That's all. Take good care of yourself physically and mentally, and be in positive environments. Shy away and shun away the negative environments, and focus on things that you love to do that makes you feel good and confident and kind and gentle and, accomplished, and make money. And then when you are more relaxed about the whole thing, you will give it another go and see if somebody, in the meantime, your eyes are open. If something good comes along, you will recognize it. But since you're not really focusing on getting a girlfriend at the moment, then focus on making yourself a better person, as you have been, and making money. Focus on your job and money making processes and economic advancements that you want to have. And then before you know it, all that will help to find the girl you're looking for, because usually they're also looking for someone that can provide, because they probably want to have children and they're looking for a man who can actually provide for the family. So, having said that, it's now 1 hour and 1 minute. It's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself, and to the others, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com, making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.